Hello, welcome to Cyber Focus, your source for international business information. I'm Christopher Rice. Our guest today is Dr. Syed Ferhat Anwar. Dr. Ferhat is professor at the Institute of Business Administration and founding director of the Kotler Center for Marketing Excellence at the University of Dhaka, the leading business school of Bangladesh. He holds an MBA and a Master of Science in Biochemistry, as well as a PhD in Marketing Systems. He's also the chief advisor of the Bangladesh Brand Forum, chief patron of Marketing Society Bangladesh, and founding director of the Bangladesh Marketing and Social Research Forum. Ferhat has more than 65 publications and is the author of 3 major books on business management, focusing more recently on the role of marketing in social enterprise management. Today, Dr. Ferhat will share his insights on the evolution of marketing and its intersection with socially responsible business today. Ferhat, thank you so much for coming and speak with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, to start out, you've been researching and teaching marketing for close to 30 years. How has the concept of marketing and some of the underlying strategies changed during this time period?
Well, if you really look at marketing, it all started not with marketing per se, but more so with selling and focus on products. And people thought, even the business people thought that if you have a product out there, people will come up and grab it and buy it. Or if someone was going for a sort of a sales pitch, even if lying about a product, they would accept these individuals. Primarily because probably there was no competition or there was less competition. And also people were not aware of what is right and what is wrong. So they took these companies for granted. But as we see the changes are taking place, and particularly with the evolution of the social media and media also getting more societal oriented, people started to know what is right and what is wrong. And therefore, mere selling or mere product approach is definitely not going to work out.
Okay.
And is not working out. And that is where marketing came into its own existence. But people again thought that marketing was more of capturing consumers' mind share, or maybe even taking some shelf space, and that automatically would lead to sales. But is that going to work? No, I don't think so. That's not working either. So now people are talking about more in terms of societal approach to marketing. Whatever you do for the betterment of the society, and try to fill in the gaps where the society is having a sort of demand for. This is where the profit dimension comes into picture.
Yes.
So you identify the needs of the individuals, look into the wants, which are different. Needs are everywhere. Needs are common to every single individual in the world. But wants are where the differences take place. So those who can translate the wants into demand are successful.
There you go. Well, one trend that has become increasingly prevalent in business, and you've talked about it, or you've alluded to it with social responsibility, CSR, corporate social responsibility. How important is this for the modern company, and how does an approach to social responsibility relate to a company's broader marketing strategy?
You see, CSR or corporate social responsibility is important when you talk in terms of sustainability, long term. Short term, you may not see it.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem lies. Because most of these corporates, most of these people are what? Short term. They want profits tomorrow. That's it. They don't want to wait for tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So, but with CSR is that if you really want sustainability, if you want a long-term sustainable brand, you need to work on, the corporate should consider their responsibility should be societal benefit. So it is like, that's what they say, this corporate, so the responsibility of the corporates is to ensure a sustainable society which can, at a later stage, continue to buy their products or they buy their brands for that matter. So that is why CSR is considered to be definitely more long-term sustainable, short-term, very difficult.
Not so much, yeah. Well, moving beyond CSR, you're currently engaged in social enterprise innovation and sustainability. Can you talk to us about how this is different from CSR, and how does it impact marketing, vice versa?
Well, that's Difficult question, because I'm sure you've seen that people do consider CSR to be synonymous to social enterprise
Right.
At times. Now, mind it, when you're talking about social enterprise, you're talking about a company which is saying that my purpose
Right.
is to serve the society
Yeah. Above all else.
above all else.
Yeah.
So the total purpose of the organization, when it becomes serving the society, you look, if you see their sort of mission, their vision, everything has got to do with the society, not with the product that they're actually offering. So product is a solution. Solution to what? Solution to some sort of societal problem.
Right.
So the approach is to, with the CSR would be looking more at the society welfare irrespective of the product.
Yeah. Dealing with a pre-existing
Dealing with,
product
yes.
or company. Yeah.
But when you talk in terms of the corporates which are actually calling themselves socially responsible with tagging them as social enterprise, nothing else. So what they're saying is our existence lies with a better society in terms of whether it has got to do with taking care of the environment of that particular country, taking care of the people of that particular country, taking care of even productivity or training of that particular country, which has got to do with education. That is what they cater to. So their purpose is entirely different. Their purpose is, why do I exist? I exist because I have to serve the humanity in one form or the other. The form is linked to the need.
Yes. And this is how they frame themselves in marketing, correct?
And that is where it comes down to marketing. So need has to be linked to some sort of bond. And when these wants are created by these social enterprises, they're unique.
Yes.
They want to make it unique. So for example, it all depends upon if you want to conserve, say for example, water. Conservation of water could be done in two different ways, either creating water or, let's say, utilizing less water. So when you're using less water, that is also a particular way through which you serve the society, giving them more water. And if you're coming up and saying, no, I'm going to produce water for the society, so you're serving them in a different way. So the approach is going to be different from one company to the other.
Great. Well, while most of your career has been located in Bangladesh, you've studied in Canada and worked regularly with researchers and professionals from around the world. Do you see a difference in demand for social and sustainable business in particular countries or cultures?
My personal opinion is that I've seen Asian countries, particularly emerging economies, to be more socially sensitive than already the capitalistic ones. However, saying so, if you look at Europe now, Europe is changing fairly fast.
Yes.
And they're moving more towards social sustainability. Look at, many of these countries. Sweden, for one, is moving very fast towards changing their company into socially sensitive companies. Switzerland has been doing it for quite some time already. Even Germany is moving in that particular way. They're also moving themselves towards social sustainability model. UK is a bit slow, I would say. USA for me is quite slow.
Yeah.
They're fairly slow. Middle Eastern countries are not even near it. China, far away from it. China is only focusing on money right now. India is having the same problem as well. Though you will find some of the Indian companies, I would say they are sort of examples for this morning I was talking to you about Ashoka, remember?
Yeah.
That is one particular company which actually is an example for the world in terms of good social enterprise. Within Bangladesh, BRAC for me is one particular corporate which started off their venture as a social enterprise. Later on, they became the largest NGO in the world. And they are the largest NGO in the world because of the fact that their approach was social enterprise model.
Is this fairly widespread in Bangladesh?
No, it is not. Definitely not.
Yeah. We were speaking earlier, you said Singapore is kind of leading the way in these sorts of approaches as well.
In our part of the world, Singapore is, but we also have to remember that Singapore is a city-state. So being a city-state, they can do experimentation wherever they feel like. And they're doing a pretty good job of it. For example, again, the water story. What they're doing in terms of recycling of water is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Their drinking water is even coming in from, water that we wash with, or even, and their toilet water is actually being recycled for flushes and stuff like that. So they're doing a pretty good job of that.
Okay, very interesting. Ferhat, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Cyber Focus. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions for future topics, please let us know at CIBER, that's CIBER, cyber, @indiana.edu.